We're now just weeks away from the spring property market. More homes are coming, more choice is coming, and competition between sellers is about to increase. But something really interesting is happening in Sydney right now. Not every property is falling together anymore. In fact, we're seeing completely different outcomes depending on what you're selling and how it's positioned. G'day folks, it's Matt Hayson here, and if you're thinking of buying or selling this spring, here are 4 very different sale experiences you need to understand. For months, we've all been talking about the falling property market. Yes, we get it. Prices have fallen, clearance rates have collapsed, buyers became cautious, campaigns took longer, negotiations get harder, but the market has evolved again. And we've moved from a falling market into what we call a selective market. Buyers aren't simply asking, how much has the market fallen? They're now asking, what is this particular property worth? What are its compromises? What else can I buy? And if I'm going to act now, why this one? And that's creating 4 very different sale experiences. Quality property, priced well. This is where we're still seeing pretty good competition in the market. Good position, great fundamentals, scarcity, sensible price positioning. Buyers recognize it, they engage, they are competing, and sometimes they are paying considerably more than expected, because even in a falling market, you can't manufacture another great property. We saw exactly that recently at our sale at 10 Symonds Street in Balmain East. This was owned by the same family since 1978 and had 3 levels of water views, garaging, northerly aspects, scale, level lawn, great construction, but it was dated. Now we guided 5.25 million, but buyers engaged, competition developed, and then we sold it prior to auction for 6.1 million. Now this is one of the strongest sales across the Balmain Peninsula so far this year. Now, does it mean that the market has recovered? Absolutely not. It means that quality, positioned correctly, can still create competition. Quality property that's overpriced. Now this is fascinating. Buyers will inspect, they'll admire it, sometimes they even love it, but then they don't act. And sellers can misunderstand that. 10 groups through an open home doesn't mean 10 buyers, and 20 inquiries doesn't mean you've got competition. Buyers are incredibly sensitive to value right now, and if price feels disconnected from the evidence, they will wait. And the longer they wait, the harder it becomes to create momentum. Compromised property that's priced well. Now here's something that's really interesting in over 30 years of real estate that I've learned, that every property has a market. Busy road, no parking, wrong aspect, needs work, awkward layout, all of that's fine. Buyers will accept that compromise, but they want to be compensated for it. When the price acknowledges the problem, a buyer can see the value, and suddenly you've got a market. Compromised property that's overpriced. Now this is trouble. You're asking the buyer to accept the problem and pay a premium for the privilege. In this market, they won't. They have too much information, they have too much choice, and increasingly, almost too much patience. They simply will move on. Quality property and price well equals competition. Quality and overpriced, admiration but hesitation. Compromised and priced well, there's a market, and compromised and overpriced, that equals trouble. And as we head towards spring, understanding exactly where your property sits is going to matter enormously, because more stock is coming, more choice is coming, and buyers are incredibly selective. So what are all the buyers actually doing right now? And maybe you're going to recognize yourself in some of these buyer behaviors. Are you inspecting fewer properties, but analyzing the good ones much more closely? Are you looking outside your original suburb because suddenly your budget is stretching further? Are you calculating renovation and replacement costs much harder than you did even 6 months ago? Are you prepared to pay for genuine quality, but you're discounting compromised property much more aggressively? Are you making offers well below the asking price without worrying whether or not you miss out? Are you watching properties sit on the market, then coming back weeks later when a different number is on display? And maybe the biggest change of all, are you simply less afraid of missing out? Because that's what we're seeing on the market, on the streets right now. Buyers, they have time, they have information, they have choice, and they know it. But here's the interesting shift. When buyers recognize genuine quality at a price they can justify, they are absolutely acting on it. And that, folks, is the spring game plan right now. For sellers, know which one of those 4 sale experiences your property belongs in, and you have to be realistic about its strengths, but equally be realistic about its compromises, because buyers are going to make that assessment whether or not you do or otherwise. Now, for buyers, stay selective, know what really matters to you, and understand where genuine value is appearing. And when that right property does meet the right price, be prepared to act, because this market isn't treating every property equally anymore. And I think that difference is only going to become more obvious as spring stock starts to arrive. So there we have it, folks. One selective market, 4 very different sale experiences right now, and a much more discerning buyer, and spring just weeks away. Now, this is the word from the Sydney streets right here, right now. This market has changed again. Understand which part of it you're operating in. Make your wise decisions, and let's see what this spring selling cycle tends to bring. Now, thanks for watching. Take care out there, and I'll catch you all next week.